Madam Speaker, I stand with a high level of pride and exuberance to support this first ever, just below $900 million budget presented by our Honourable Prime Minister, Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit. It is a historic moment for all Dominicans, a moment to recognize, and justly so, our accomplishment of one, a reducing debt to GDP ratio to a record low in the OECS, and secondly, a 2.8 growth above the regional average. And we also hope, or it is also projected, that we are going to surpass this average next year. And this is despite the challenges faced locally, brought about by natural disasters such as Tropical Storm Erica, brought about by Black Sikatoka, the disease which affected our banana production, also impacted by the global financial situation. But also the challenge that we face due to the daily machinations of the United Workers' Party, the opposition, to bring down this country, and their continuous attempts to undermine the efforts of this government and to destroy the CBI, a major revenue stream for this country. It is a moment when we must pay recognition to the hard work, effective and strategic leadership, and prudent fiscal management led by the efforts of the Minister of Finance, our Prime Minister, and his hard-working staff. Madam Speaker, it cannot be by chance that we have come so far. It cannot be by pie-in-the-sky ideas without any effective strategies and plans, as the opposition would like to allow people, or would like to have others think, but because of practical solutions that fit the reality of Dominica's situation. I would like to tell the opposition that anyone could suggest repainting the sky and tiling the ocean bed, but there must be a how to do so. Madam Speaker, these people-oriented budgets, and time again it has been proven, every day it's proven that this is a people-centered government, and the budget encourages all citizens at home and abroad to commit ourselves towards the national development thrust, to a modern and progressive Dominica, to collective responsibility, and will foster a greater effort towards sustainable and equitable development. Madam Speaker, the budget provides a platform for all to come and play their role. It allows for inclusion and participation of farmers. It provides for direct support to help farmers improve their production and to meet the growing demands for our local produce. The budget has provided $24 million for entrepreneurs, $4 million to go towards a new entrepreneurship program that targets young entrepreneurs, those who may not be able to have the necessary collateral to access loans from the bank, those who want to expand on their businesses, those who have new innovative ideas that they can chart the process forward in terms of spreading the culture of enterprise and investing in new initiatives. The manufacturers are also very happy, as based on their request is met right now with a $15 million provision to be placed at the aid bank with 3% interest rate and 1-year grace period. It cannot get any better than that. And so the manufacturers are happy. The students and professionals, I am sure, are happy and are looking forward to increased training, to opportunities for training, improved knowledge and skills for specialization so that they can build on their career path and provide added services towards the development of this country. The youth, and that would include a number of young people, I hope, who are going to take advantage of these opportunities. And the youth as well, I am sure, and sportsmen, the athletes, the basketballers, in the various fields of sports, they too are happy for this budget because it has provided for the construction of a multi-purpose sports complex. The budget provides for development across geographical locations in both the urban and rural settings. And we think of a modernized, a good-looking and improved Roseau and Portsmouth that will benefit all citizens and the tourism sector. Madam Speaker, the budget outlined in this appropriation bill is expected to positively impact all sectors within the Dominican society and targets those at every strata of society, setting the pace for furtherance of the social and economic advancement and modernization of our beloved country and opening up new avenues to take advantage of existing and emerging opportunities for individual and national growth and development. We see, Madam Speaker, that provisions have been made in this budget that will increase economic activities, new areas of employment, expansion in the human resource capacity, and generation of wealth and income. Therefore, we expect an improved socio-economic well-being of all citizens. So I am sounding a call to all of us to take advantage of the opportunities provided in this budget because there is something for everyone, we the people. It is a budget for we the people. Madam Speaker, the continued funding towards geothermal development is fundamental to a modern Dominica and to adequate generation of affordable energy for both domestic and commercial purposes. Affordable energy is critical to an enabling environment for ease of doing business, to support commerce and trade. And so too is the international airport, that a fund has already been established, and every month an allocation of $5 million will be placed in that fund to ensure that we work towards the realization of an international airport, a necessity for improved travel, for tourism, but also to ensure that we have private sector development in Dominica. An international airport will surely benefit private sector development, increase business, increase visits to Dominica for business purposes. And so that too is very critical. Further, as Minister of Commerce, I am extremely happy for the support to ensure the reopening of the Dominica coconut products, which prior to Tropical Storm Erica was the major manufacturing exporter. And it will create employment, as we heard, starting initially with 10 people, but hopefully by the end of the next year, over 100 people will be employed. And this will ensure, again, foreign exchange earnings, or increase in foreign exchange earnings to add to our revenue streams in Dominica. Madam Speaker, in this well-put-together budget, provisions and investment do not only target the productive sector, but ensures that we continue to meet the needs of the more vulnerable among us. Provisions to ensure outreach and education for the physically challenged. This shows the depth of care of our leader and our government, understanding the plight of all the vulnerable groups among us and continuing to make provisions for them. So last year, there was the pilot project for national insurance that benefited single mothers. This year, and then we continue all the other social programs that benefit our elderly, that benefit our young people. And today, in this budget, we are making provision for the education of the physically challenged that will benefit not only the physically challenged individuals, but their families. So we are talking about the empowerment of such disadvantaged groups and to get them to transition to self-reliance. I am certain all families with physically challenged children are happy with this budget and the planned initiative to educate these vulnerable children and empower their parents. I am certain too that all cancer patients, their families and friends, and the entire nation as a whole are happy with the $5 million provision that will ease the burden of obtaining necessary treatment. I think this government has the people at heart, and this cannot be contested by the opposition. At the Ministry of Commerce, we have been playing our part, and every day we see the results of the investments made by this government in micro and small businesses in Dominica. As articulated by the Prime Minister, this last financial year, over $13.5 million was disbursed to small business clients across the length and breadth of Dominica, empowering small businesses or empowering these people to start up or expand their businesses. Of this amount, $5.3 million was disbursed through the ministry's regular program to 225 existing businesses who were able to restock, purchase new or improved equipment, expand their services, employ additional people. And we also provided grants to 185 new businesses. And Madam Speaker, if we provide grants to 185 new businesses, this is also a strong indication of employment creation because the business can't run itself. In fact, our records show that support to these 440 businesses ensured new employment of 278 people. So the 185 created self-employment, and a number of the new and existing businesses created employment for others because we supported them to expand their businesses. The member of Roseau South spoke of unemployment, and I wish he was here to hear that this government is about providing the means of people creating employment for themselves and others through enterprise, through support to micro and small businesses in Dominica. And I also heard he spoke about the unemployment rate, but I would want to think that he should look at the definition of the unemployed people, because in there, they are rating as unemployed 15 to 24-year-olds. You tell me where most of the 15 to 24-year-olds are. Where are they? They are within the school system. So whatever rate that you have, it would be a flawed rate of unemployment. In addition to our regular ministry-level disbursement, approximately $7.6 million was disbursed via the local authorities. Our ongoing monitoring and follow-up by the ministry indicate that 82% of these funds, or $6.2 million, have already been utilized for the said purpose, benefiting 1,217 small businesses in 29 communities, while 16% of these funds is still to be disbursed by some of the village councils, as for some communities, a phased approach is being utilized. Madam Speaker, I hear the members of the opposition asking, where are the businesses? but I do not know who or what they are looking for, whether they are looking for major million-dollar corporations. Obviously, they are not on the ground. They are not connected because they need to get real. We are talking about micro and small businesses. We are talking about the poultry farmer who is now producing for the abattoir. We are talking about the fishermen now equipped with new or better boats and engines. We are talking about the seamstresses or the tailors who are now better equipped with some new machines, equipment, build their little workshops, and engage in providing school uniforms or producing soft furnishes that can supply our upcoming hotels. We are talking about the women engaged in confectionaries, pastries, catering services. The many producers of virgin coconut oil for local and the regional niche markets like in Guadeloupe and Martinique. We are talking about the cocoa producers, including Choco Dominic, instant cocoa, already on the shelves in Martinique. We are talking about the cluster of cassava producers in the Kalinago territory and who have now added value to having cassava flour and cassava pastries. And Madam Speaker, they taste very good. You cannot even tell the difference whether it is from the ordinary flour or cassava flour. We are talking about the herbal tea producers for local and regional markets, and which are in high demand and which we need to further equip these people to meet the standards to really delve into the existing market opportunities. We are talking about the young men with their brush cutters, their chainsaws, and their power wash machines, providing services to their community and earning a living. We are talking about the bakeries in several communities, a couple of which started from scratch and which are in full operation now, and those which expanded to create new jobs. We are talking about the women in food and beverages, and the list goes on. You would note, Madam Speaker, that the funds impacted enterprises and the small business sector in many areas of economic activities, to include retail and wholesale business, culinary, garment manufacturing, poultry and livestock, fishing, cosmetology, beauty, barbering, farming, agro-processing, music, graphics and ICT, and several other areas. You know, Madam Speaker, the officer currently engaged to follow up with these small businesses described his experience on the ground as enlightening, because like me, for many of these small entrepreneurs, he is amazed as to how much many of them have been able to stretch the given resources to make their business happen. Because, Madam Speaker, we do not provide the grants and just let things roll out, but we monitor. We do site visits, we provide technical advice, and we train them to run a successful business. This year, we were able to do over 860 site visits and dialogue with small business owners. There were strategic training programs for all these MSME clients, which were held in several districts in the north, northeast, south, southeast, and west coast, benefiting 1,064 small business persons with a representation of about 63% female and 37% male across 25 communities. Participants were trained in how to run a successful business, covering areas such as business management and operations and resource management. This year, we will continue this training, and we will also expand to e-commerce and e-marketing. And with the assistance of a young professional, we will pilot an e-commerce platform to benefit those ready for the online market. The ministry, in collaboration with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Chinese Embassy here in Dominica, we were able to facilitate the participation of a number of micro and small businesses to attend training in China. They attended training such as in garment manufacturing, 8 persons, bamboo craft and furniture, 11 persons, and now 3 are attending courses in ceramic production. This helps to strengthen capacity, enable innovation, and expand potential for diversified enterprise. Madam Speaker, the 2 products that my sister, the member of Soufriere, displayed is just a mere drop in the bucket of the extent of the local products and expanded businesses we encounter every day that has been supported by this government. I can relay countless success stories where unemployed men and women, to include the young people, were given a small grant, have almost made miracles with the small grant, and are well on their way as small business owners. The 2 products that, I can speak of a client involved in embroidery on T-shirt, cups, mugs, who is now equipped, whose equipment are now on the pot because of the support that we provide him, and he will be fully self-operational. And these individuals, unlike the articulation by the opposition that Marigot does not benefit, this individual is from Marigot. Several people from Marigot have benefited from the small business. And you know, I'll come back to that as to what happened, how the I will come back, that the leader of the opposition seemed to be very unaware of what's happening in his constituency. There's also, I can speak of all the virgin coconut oil producers who have their products on the shelves in Dominica, but I want to make mention of one who has secured factory space, who is well equipped, and has now employed 5 people. 2 people full-time and 3 part-time, because of our support, have been able to establish and create employment for 5 people. I can speak of a young man who is into the manufacturing of concrete yard tiles and how he was innovative. We assisted him with just a small amount, and now he has expanded. And we gave this young man some money, and he was very innovative to the extent that he needed a vibrating table to ensure that the process of making his tile is quicker, neater, and reduces wastage. And when this young man went online and saw the vibrating table was costing him $5,000 US, he decided to get a motor from an old mixer, a good motor that was functioning, and he got a welder to make the table, and he installed the motor, and he now has a very good, functional vibrating table. That's how innovative our young people are. So if we provide a little support for our youth, that is the extent to which they can go. And this young man has been having several projects in the north of Dominica. We also can speak, or I can also speak of another producer of coconut oil, virgin coconut oil, who is now doing coconut hair butter. And this butter has, that hair butter, it has gained much momentum. So there's a lot of sale for this hair butter. We have a young man who is into various tasting cassava bread. He functions both in his village and close to the bayfront when there's stories. And now, based on the demands, he's told me last week, 2 weeks ago, that he's going to go to Marigallant because he's been invited to go to Marigallant and set up in the market in Marigallant fortnightly on Saturdays. So we have quite a lot of success stories. Yes. And we are working on a documentary with GIS. GIS is helping us so that we can showcase so many of these success stories because of the investment we have made in young entrepreneurs, or in entrepreneurs in general, across the country of Dominica, expanding the rural economy, ensuring people have sustainable livelihoods and less dependent on the government, and creating employment, as I said, for themselves and others. So, Madam Speaker, I heard the leader of the opposition spoke with skepticism regarding investments made and support given to small and micro businesses in Dominica. But as usual, he apparently chooses not to inform himself. It is sad, Madam Speaker, but I recall at Market Day with a Difference in Marigot last year that he, the PAL rep of Marigot, tried to indicate during his remarks that Marigot people were not benefiting from such programs. But I was forced to point out publicly 3 small entrepreneurs right in front of him, with display booths right there in front of him, who were beneficiaries of the small business grants. When he finished, he couldn't watch the people in their eyes. All of his articulations that day showed him up as having little knowledge of what is going on in his own constituency. Just like today, I wonder if he is aware that the higher percentage of recipients of the soft loans from the special facility disbursed by the Aid Bank to date come from the Northeast District, more so Marigot. 31 out of 114 farmers who benefited as of June 30th, 2017 are from Calibishi to Marigot, and most of them are from Marigot. And the loans disbursed to them, these 31 people, accounted for just below $0.5 million out of the $2 million disbursed. And combined, those from the North, we really have to applaud our people, because combined, 40% of the loans disbursed has been disbursed to farmers of the North and Northeast. So I applaud the hardworking farmers, and especially the hardworking farmers of Calibishi. And I want to single out a young farmer who is seen as a model farmer by the Aid Bank, who was featured, Lenny Aubrey, who has taken this thing and is running with it. He is a very good farmer, a young man in his 20s. Madam Speaker, in addition to the credit facilities established at the Aid Bank last financial year for agriculture, we all know, $10 million, hotel and restaurants, $15 million, the music industry, $1 million. We are happy to have an allocation of $15 million that will go towards manufacturing, as I said, at 3% interest and 1-year grace period, and an added $4 million towards entrepreneurship. And we intend to ensure to continue to work with the Dominica Manufacturers Association, encouraging them, providing necessary training support so that they will take full advantage of these loans as working capital, as money to ensure that they are fully equipped to increase their volume, improve their quality, and to become export ready to reach not only the local market, but the regional market. We continue to work with the Manufacturers Association, and if we want to have an idea of the products that we have, we can go to the one-stop shop at the market that we assisted DMA to put together. And there we will see the good packaging of some of our products that we have. I cannot believe the member for Roseau, who says he is for private sector development, would not choose the best, but that is what we expect of them. There are many of our small business people. We know they need some added support to improve their packaging, and the budget provides for that kind of support. But we know that a lot of them have very good packages. So how comes this member of Roseau comes with this flimsy package when he knows we have so much more, so much better products that he can show off? But it does not amaze us, because it seems they always promote the negative image of Dominica. Yes, but he chose Yes, he cries on everything. At the Ministry of Commerce, we also run a rural-based enterprise center program that seeks to incubate small businesses so they can emerge as thriving businesses, as new businesses, and we also do some for clustering purposes. The idea is to ensure that we have young people with business ideas, that we can get them to develop this skill. It also has the added value of assisting women, like all of what we do, women and youth who are disadvantaged, so they may not have the necessary skill. For women, there's a gender benefit to that, in that women can begin to work close to their homestead, so they are able to wake up, take care of the children, do their domestic chores, and be able to work to earn. So they play their dual role and contribute to their own development and to the development of their families and communities. So far, we have 8 rural-based centers in Siniku, Dubla, Cassibros, Rivière-Syrique, Grand Fond, in various skills. And we intend to continue working with Bells. We are working with the Bells community where they can add value to dashing. We know Bells is a dashing producing area, so that they can peel the dashing, freeze it, package it, and make it very readily available at the supermarkets. So we are working with Bells. We'll also be working with St. Joseph and Tatan as new RBECs. And we continue work as well in Grand Bay, where we will be clustering some small businesses. Through the rural-based enterprise centers, 125 men and 147 women have participated, and it has created direct employment for 27 men and 29 women. So, Madam Speaker, let me sensitize the opposition and general public on what this government is doing and on the benefits of this level of investment in enterprise development. We are well on our way to expanding and diversify the economy, including the rural economy. We are enabling growth in the private sector and building on existing industries. We are promoting and encouraging innovation. We are empowering both women and youth and men at all the levels of society. We are able, through the enterprise, to provide more and improved goods and services to the country and region. And now, the budget has made provision for CVQ certification, which will allow our citizens to take advantage of opportunities within the CSME to provide added goods and services. We are adding value to our primary products, reducing the traditional approach of always exporting our surplus value. We are positioning citizens to take advantage of the various developments, ensuring they can take advantage of both the forward and backward linkages, to be able to provide for the abattoir, to be able to provide for the hotels, to be able to provide for the pack houses. So when the opposition, in an effort to sound eloquent, begin to say we plan haphazardly, I would encourage them to first understand the linkages and begin to appreciate the holistic and integrated approach to development that this government is taking. Because the presentation I heard from the opposition leader, in my view, had no relevance to the budget, had no substantial content, had no passion, had no coherence, had no alternative solutions, just a string of high-flown words and unconnected ideas that does not reflect the reality or represent any sound strategy, and further, with no proposed resource base. No plan, no thinking, no ideas, just disconnected, probably go on some documents, some website somewhere and just cut certain things and those things. Yes, a string of words. and has nothing. And I understand because it is a very good budget, but their operation, their modus operandi is to look for everything negative. And since they couldn't find anything positive to say, they would cry down the very good budget that was presented. And that is the leader of opposition. In this entire budget, there was nothing positive that you could say that benefits Dominica. Come on. And it just helps all of us, as most Dominicans conclude, that he's not serious and he does not have much to offer. So the ministry, in the new year coming up, we will continue our grant and technical support to small business. 4.5 million has been provided for that purpose. We will also be putting things in place for the new program, working with the necessary agencies, other government agencies, to ensure we put in place the structures for implementation of the new entrepreneurship program. We are finalizing a draft policy. So this will be finalized, and we will also be working on the draft legislation that hopefully will be tabled in government in the next couple of months. We will continue work, as I said, with our new rural-based enterprise centers for Bells, Tatton, St. Joseph, and Grand Bay. We will also be seeking to ensure that we have continued successful businesses, and a lot of the businesses we support are new businesses. So we will be doing what we call, we are working with the OECS for what we call Small Business Development Centers. It's really a model where key organizations provide for their membership and others mentorship, business advisory, business counseling, so people can have that on a continuous basis. We will also, as I say, we'll finalize the policy and have legislation on MSMEs. So we will continue the work, and we will continue our strategic partnership with all of the stakeholders. We work closely not only with Dominica Manufacturers Association, but the DAIC, the Arts and Craft Association, the Coalition of Services, the DYBT, so that we cover private sector development and entrepreneurs across the board. I would like to turn now to, we hope, and I've been discussing with the Minister of ICT, Science and Technology, to be able to improve on innovation. We know the Center of Excellence has turned out a number of people, and we would hope that some of them have the innovative ideas. So we will run a program with those who are interested and provide the necessary support. So we'll be working with Honorable, the Minister of ICT for that. We also hope to focus more greatly on agro-processing. So we will help most of the agro-processors and light manufacturers for this year. That will be our area of focus, because we recognize that there are a number of very good products in Dominica, but what needs to be done is to improve in volumes and try to get them to be export ready. So, but that's what we've been doing. That's what's on our plan. So it's not, so stop taking credit for what is already there. I now turn to my constituency, and I want to really express gratitude to my constituents within all of the communities, the village councils who have been working very assiduously to support the various projects. They are some of the main implementers for the projects that we do. And the constituency have benefited from a number of village roads. The last set of village roads being done was to a tune of over $900,000. There's also the Belmania Village Road that repairs to that, rehabilitation. And the money is now at the Pebush Village Council to have that done. And what we are waiting is, the WASCO has been changing the pipes in this area, and they just have a little section to finish. So we hope they will do that. They were expected to do that a couple of weeks ago. The famous Zolivier is about to start. It's an area that is very vulnerable in the Pebush area, and I want to thank the Minister of Public Works. I was always on her case for that, because every time it rained, the Pebush people would feel fretted. So we are happy that this is about to start. A retaining wall in Benz. We want to thank the contractor who did this job, did a very good job. That again was another vulnerable area in the constituency. We also, the Pebush, the entire constituency, benefited from small business support, small business grants, and I am proud that as I go through the communities, there are a number of people who are doing very well, and the officer doing the monitoring on the ground for us, doing the follow-up, was very impressed. He said when he went there, it's like everybody was at work. He could just see the impact of small business within the community. And even when we were doing a self-help, and I want to thank all of the people who came for the self-help that we did to the landing site in Anzime, which was a health hazard. And in a short while, we were able to repair that as an interim measure, because copper pieces had fallen there, and it was causing injury. So even while there, I could see the impact of small business on the community. Late in the afternoon, there were several boats coming in. And I could see, when I came into office, some of them used to have some small boats in conditions of disrepair. But just at the end of the day, about 5 boats were coming in, and I had to take a picture because I could just see the impact of small business in Anzime. They had bigger boats, new boats. Some of the boats had new engines, big engines. And so it helped in increased economic activity in Anzime. And so I would just encourage the constituents and all Dominicans who are receiving support from the government, understand that the government is trying to empower you and make the best of the resources available to you so that you can help yourselves and your family. And as the report shows, most people are already doing that. So we want you to continue to do so. In the constituency, we benefited a lot from housing and sanitation. We had $350,000 that has been expended on particularly people with leaking roof. With 98 washrooms as we speak are being constructed in the constituency of Pebush. Pebush in all 3 communities. 50 in Calibishi, 30 in Bensanzime, Solda, 18 in Pebush. We will continue work. We've been working with the Ministry of Tourism and the tourism group in Benz towards development of the Shodier Pool and also the village council, so we will continue to do that. We continue to work with the farmers group, and the farmers group was supported with fertilizer and other funds to purchase oils and so on, and other input. And the Calibishi Farmers Group benefited from a tiller, and they've been making very good use of this tiller. The people involved in potato production, tanya production, they have been making use of the tiller. And Calibishi is an area, a lot of the farmers have begun to see, those that are providing for the pack houses, tanya, and so, that they are doing very well. So I encourage others to continue to take advantage of the opportunities provided to improve agriculture in our country and to contribute to export, not only export, but our own food security. We also provided funds for improvement in our courts in Benz and in Pebush, and there's ongoing work as well on those courts. We are happy for provisions this year to address the river wall under the BNTF program. The Kalibishi River Wall will be done. The Anzime Health Center, Dr. Darrow, thank you, and Honorable Lady Catherine, thank you for providing this support, and I look forward to it. The Kalibishi School is also long in the making, and we preliminary designs were presented to stakeholders, and this year $200,000 is also provided to finalize the designs for the Kalibishi School. We will also benefit from the irrigation project under the Ministry of Agriculture, and I see this benefiting not only the irrigation for agricultural purposes, but the water supply there, I am told, is enough to even assist in addressing the water issue in Kalibishi. So it will be serving a dual purpose, and so we are very grateful for it, and we ask the Kalibishi people to be patient as provisions have been made, not just for irrigation, but which will benefit your water supply. We continue to reach out to the youth. I've been having a series of meetings with the youth with the intention of working with them. One of the issues the youth, two issues is in the area of sports. So we'll continue to work with you in terms of your sport facilities, and also there are some interested in enterprise development. So we will be working with you in that regard. We are also happy. We asked the farmers to be patient again. They've had a lot of patience. I must thank the Kalibishi farmers with regards to the feeder road that has been coming and has been coming. And hopefully it will materialize this year. So the Middle Ridge Road, we are waiting it. And we are also grateful for the Marigot Hospital because it serves the people of Kalibishi as well. So the government will continue its housing and sanitation. There are 3 people who have benefited from full houses, and the Honorable Peter is not there. One of them looks like a dashing house, a very beautiful dashing house. So the family that benefit, everybody who passes love this house, so I'll be showcasing it sometime soon. And then there are other single women households who will benefit, who are in the living homes that they should not be living in. And hopefully we will be assisting these people with houses. So our sanitation program, although we are doing 98 washrooms, there are still quite a few to be done. So we ask the village council to speed up the process so that we can make sure by end of 2017 we have done all required washroom. We have fully eliminated pit latrine in the Pebush constituency. So with that, and with all of the provisions in this budget, which signals already a progressive and modern Dominica, I have no choice, and nobody has a choice. Even the opposition who pretend, but they know it's a good budget. That's why they went all over the place, north, south, east, west, talking nonsense. And they too know they should support the budget. So with no further words, I would like to pledge my full support to this budget.